morning, Sac City. Welcome into the first edition of Pigskins and Pancakes, presented by the Sac City Podcast. I'm your host, the one and only Vinny Milani, joined as always by my best friend in the whole entire world. He is Aaron, the Mukesiah Mukes. And below us, we have a returning face, a beautiful face. Just happy he's not in any other gear but Jaguar gear. He is the smoothest voice in sports casting. He is oh, Scaronet himself. He is Dylan Kearns. It is a beautiful September 11th morning here in the city. Dylan, how goes it?
It goes. Yeah, Vinny, you know, it's
no.
It goes, you know, I'm just excited. I'm excited, not just to talk football with you guys, which has been something I've been wanting to do for a long time. But, you know, we're here. We're doing it. It's a live show. I see Bailey's popping already. 3 in there. How about them Irish? You know, we lost Eminem, good old Marshall. But, you know, we're doing well. We're doing well. So I'm excited to talk football, baby. It's back. It's back. I got the Adam Schefter tweet notifications late last night to say so-and-so is injured, questionable to play. I'm like, we're back now. We're back.
Yeah, we're full go. Like, we are full go, and we've got a great fantasy show ahead of us. We're going to be talking the injury report. We're going to be breaking down Aaron's rankings. We also have our DFS play at the end of the show that we're going to be drafting against each other to see who can put together the best DFS lineup. Aaron, are you feeling good? You feeling better this morning?
Man, I'm as good as can be. I'm as good as can be. It's week 1 of the NFL season. You know how much I love this time of year. Fantasy football especially. I get to help everybody out there win their leagues and become champions like myself. Yeah, it's wonderful. I'm excited. Dylan, I have a question, Dylan.
What's up?
How does it feel to lose to a team like Marshall? Like, how does that actually feel inside?
You know, it hurts. It hurts. I'll be honest, man. It hurts deep down.
I'll be honest. They cost me $25.
Well,
I had some money. I just came out here to Reno. I had some money on my little William Hill sports app book, and I go, you know what? I'm gonna put 25 on Notre Dame to cover the spread. It was like 20 points. I was like, Notre Dame should blow them out. Yeah, they suck.
Yeah, see, that's the thing about the Irish. I'll say one thing real quick here. Notre Dame, they're not a team that blows out these bad schools. Like, you watch Alabama or whatever, second quarter, game over. No matter what, you play bad school. Notre Dame lets these schools stick around. Then they get to the big game. They lose a big game, usually ugly. But when they do compete in that big game, they're like, oh, maybe they're all right. Nah, you got to be able to go out and pound these bad teams. And Marshall came in. They were 1-0, all right? But still, that's a win that should have been in the Irish's books. But look, Marcus Freeman's 0-3 now to start his Notre Dame career, which is rough.
Do you think that spells, or that is setting up for some bad stuff in the future?
I think he's the right man for the job. He just got to learn how to make second half adjustments. All 3 games terrible.
Okay. All right.
But he's a fiery guy. They play for him, so I like it.
Alabama won, so that was a thing. That was a thing. So I'm happy about that. But all right, enough about the college football talk. It is time to get into Aaron's rankings in here. We're going to start with your running backs. Aaron does his rankings every week. If you are new to Pigskins and Pancakes, we break down Aaron's top 24 running backs, wide receivers, top 15 quarterbacks, 15 tight ends. Dylan looks at them and lets us know what is too high, too low, or just a player that he likes on the list. Let's start off at the running backs. Here they are. Jonathan Taylor at number 1 against Houston. Alvin Kamara 2. Austin Ekeler, CMC, Aaron Jones, and Joe Mixon round out the top 6 for Aaron's running back rankings in week 1. Dylan, when you look at the top 12 here, is there a name that jumps out to you as maybe too high, too low, or just right?
Yeah, I see someone that might be a little bit too high, and I think it's DeAndre Swift right there at 7. And I know this guy might get a lot of receptions in the pass game and stuff like that. But this Philadelphia defense, I mentioned it before. I said I believe Philadelphia has one of the best defenses in the NFL. And they bring in Tank Davis. They already got some veterans on that defensive line. They're good at stopping the run. They address their play a little bit on that defensive front. I question how much running room DeAndre Swift will have today. It's already an offense that kind of have to game plan on just shutting down Swift. He's the one guy you really circle. I mean, Amon-Ra came on strong at the end of last year, so maybe look at him a little bit. But I don't see the Detroit Lions as a potent offense or someone like that, especially against a good defense. I'm not so sold on DeAndre Swift today.
That's a shot. That's a shot, man. That's a shot. Aaron loves him some DeAndre Swift. I know.
It's not a shot. And he makes some good points when it comes to the running game. But this is fantasy football. We aren't talking regular football here. We're talking fantasy football. And DeAndre Swift's one of the better receiving backs in all of football. And not to mention, let's talk about the style of play that this is going to be. If we're so sold on Philadelphia's defense and Detroit's not going to be able to run the ball, assuming most people are going to see Detroit as probably being behind in this game, it's going to be a lot of passing and a lot of passing down work for DeAndre Swift. So, yeah, maybe he does have trouble finding some running room. But Dylan just exited out because I was so dominant and about to destroy him. He just decided to leave.
He's like, nah, I can't handle it. I can't handle it.
The fact of the matter is DeAndre Swift is one of the better pass-catching backs in the NFL. He is going to get a ton of receptions, a ton of yardage after the catch, and he's going to be incorporated into the running game. And with that, the opportunity and volume alone will keep him in the top 10. I don't think there's a chance in hell that DeAndre Swift is outside the top 10 this week. If you think about last year, think about what he was able to do at the beginning of the season, just in the receiving game alone. I'll give you his first 3 games as the Detroit Lion last year. He had 39 yards rushing, 37 yards rushing, and 47 yards rushing. First 3 games. And fantasy points, he had 24, 11, and 23. How did that happen? Because he also had 8 catches for 65 yards and a touchdown, 4 catches, 41 yards, and then 7 catches and 60 yards there. So I think you're right in the sense of maybe there's not a lot of running lanes for him, but the passing down volume and the passing down opportunities are going to give him more than enough to finish inside that top 12 in running backs. Probably top 10, and I have him as high as 7. Could be higher. Vinny knows how I feel about this game. Very high scoring, a lot of points. DeAndre Swift is going to be a lot of that with Detroit's offense.
I hate when you say things because you're usually right.
That's
whole Bill thing, you're saying a lot of points, not just eating at me. I'm like, I think Philly keeps it like they're a good defense. I like them a lot, but
I told everybody's saying that this year. This is the defense. This is Washington of last year. But I've been very consistent. I'm not saying they're going to finish like Washington of last year. I've been very consistent with how I feel about teams like this. They have to show me. Just because you go get defensive players in Bradbury and Davis and Nakobe Dean and all these guys, right? Hassan Reddick, like those are great pieces. They have to come together and work, and they have to actually show up on the field. So until I watch them play together, which in the preseason, again, I hate harping on preseason stuff. We didn't see that. They didn't play together all too often. And when they were on the field, I watched Cleveland run down the field on them. I watched a couple other teams be able to move the ball on the defense. And again, I know it's preseason, but I have yet to see the Philadelphia Eagles that everybody sees. And I like receipts, man. I like proof. Show me the names turn into production, and then I can say, you know what, that's a team I'm watching out for. But so far, I haven't seen it. So I'll know after today. I really will, because if they can't stop Detroit, good luck in the NFL. That's how I feel. Good luck. You have trouble with Detroit's offense, with Amon-Ra St. Brown and DeAndre Swift. What are you going to do when you go play these high-powered offenses? The Minnesotas, Tampa Bay, the Rams, the Saints. Like, good luck.
Dylan over here disrespecting DJ Chark, man. I don't appreciate that. I don't appreciate you disrespecting DJ. It's okay. I didn't really like DJ Chark anyways when he was a Jag. Aaron, is there anyone from your top 12 that you want to kind of dive into before we move on to 13 through 24?
Yeah, can you bring my list back up, because I don't have it in front of me. I want to talk about Aaron Jones, and I have him extremely high here for a reason. Not just because of the fact that he's a good running back and it's against a Minnesota defense that may be improved, but I don't know how improved they are. But it's also because Allen Lazard is out. And I think that today there's a very good possibility that Aaron Jones is the number 1 receiver in Green Bay week 1. I know I said that for the season, it could happen, but today I really do believe that week 1, he could be the leading receiver on this team. And I think that'll bode well in fantasy, obviously, with the target share. And then you also incorporate him into the running game. So you notice the guys that I have up there. Jonathan Taylor's a great matchup, but then it's Austin Ekeler, Christian McCaffrey, Alvin Kamara, Aaron Jones. These are all guys that are going to get passing down work. And I'm sorry. That's what fantasy is about, guys. It's about opportunity. And if I can get a running back that's elite, and you add in the fact that he's going to give me 7, 8 targets, maybe, give me that all day long. They're going to be in my top 10. But Aaron Jones could be a nice one today.
We've talked about him all off season long about how at the end of the year we might have him as the wide receiver 1 for this team, and he's just a running back. He's going to be solid. And you look back at your top 12 here. I would even I don't know something brings something I want to bring up, I guess, before we move on, that I'm just now noticing is Austin Ekeler at 3. Is that, I don't know, that just seems a little rich to me, but maybe I'm wrong.
It was the number 3 running back last year.
I'm just thinking over the like I would have Aaron Jones over Austin Ekeler. Because
I know Aaron Jones. I know Austin Ekeler is going to get carries and catches. There's nobody competing there for anything. The difference is that Green Bay still does have A.J. Dillon. It might end up being A.J. Dillon on the ground and Aaron Jones in the passing game, but Austin Ekeler is it, and it's game 1, and he's healthy. That may change as the season goes on after he gets, 30, 35 touches. But early in the season, you're going to see Austin Ekeler a lot.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I believe you. Aaron, let's move on to your 13 through 24. It looks like this: James Conner just outside of the RB1 at 13, followed by Javonte Williams, Josh Jacobs, Leonard Fournette, Ezekiel Elliott, and Antonio Gibson at 18. Dylan, I feel like we need to talk about this one player at 18, Antonio Gibson. He's got him here, top 24 running back. There was the people have been hot and cold on Antonio Gibson all off season. What do you think about him being at 18?
Oof. It just feels weird. It feels yucky. Antonio Gibson's now yucky in my eyes. I mean, they had this man returning punts in the preseason. Like Brian Robinson, if old boy didn't get shot, I mean, it really would have been his backfield. And I mean, seriously here, Antonio Gibson's going to get the carries today because they're forced. And I don't think I like that. I think, roast me all you want, Aaron, I still think J.D. McKissic gets a lot in the game. I think he's implemented into this game plan. He has a lot in the receiving game. And if Gibson doesn't have anything on the ground, he might have 60 yards, a few catches, 7, 8 points. He'll need to score today if he wants to get into the top 20.
I'm not gonna do the Brian Robinson conversation because it's not fair. Everybody says, "Oh, it was going to be Brian Robinson's show." There's no way to prove that. There's no way to prove that what I said, which is I still didn't believe it all along that it was going to be his show. There's no way to prove that, so that it's not even worth discussing. The fact of the matter is Antonio Gibson's the RB1 in Washington right now. There's no debate about that. Ron Rivera has said it. Ron Rivera said he's going to be getting a lot of work. I believe that was always going to happen. I do believe he's one fumble away from being benched. I do believe he was in the doghouse a little bit for fumbling again in the preseason. But the fact still remains, he's been in the doghouse a number of times over the past 2 seasons. And guess what he's done the past 2 seasons? Come out and been very good at playing fantasy football for us. So I don't think that changes. I think 18 is even a little bit low today. I'm giving a little bit of respect to the Jaguars defense. Antonio Gibson could have a really good day here. And I do agree with you. I do think J.D. McKissic is going to get involved in the pass game, but I also believe Antonio Gibson gets enough carries today, anywhere between 14 to 16 carries, 5 targets out of the backfield, and that will be plenty to put you in the top 20 in running backs. Plenty. Remember, running backs, we're always like, top 20 running backs, go look at what the number 20 running back does on a weekly basis and go see how many points that's scoring. And you're going to see 10. You're going to see 11 points. And if you're telling me you don't think Antonio Gibson can get 11 points, then you're really down on him. I think he can get that. I think he'll be in the top 20 pretty easily.
Any shot he lays in acres?
You said what?
Any shot he lays in acres?
No. You want to know why?
Why?
Because Akers is totally unproven. We love the upside of Cam Akers. Cam Akers has never had a great fantasy year. Never. He's had great fantasy. Yeah. He's had great fantasy days, but never had a great fantasy year. And I think and again, injury and all that. I don't see that. And I also saw Cam Akers running, and he looked scared. And scared in the sense of he didn't look like himself. I don't think that's Gibson. I think Gibson is that guy who just wants to make so many big plays that he gets out of character and then fumbles the football because he's trying to do too much. Maybe he's learned, maybe he hasn't, but this is it for Antonio Gibson. A blessing from above was the fact that Brian Robinson obviously is out and he gets another opportunity to say, I can claim this backfield if I go out and ball out. And this is his chance. It starts week 1 today.
You scared me.
Why?
You absolutely scare me with Antonio Gibson. Not because like what you say about his like the production and everything with him, it's there. But you said something during all of that really like it stuck with me. And you said that he is one fumble away from basically falling off the face of the earth. And I'm not sure I can have a running back or any player for that matter high on it, like in the top 24 or in the top 20, I should say. With that worry there, like
you can't do that. Bring up that list. Bring up that list. That second 12 or whatever.
Yeah.
Guess what? Guess who else you could say that about? Miles Sanders. You could say that about Clyde Edwards-Helaire. You could say that about Elijah Mitchell.
Well, you just hold on. Well, you just said that for two. I wouldn't. Me personally, I wouldn't have Antonio Gibson in the top 20, just because of that. I would have him closer to where Clyde is.
But like the thing is Clyde and those guys that are below him, they don't have the Antonio Gibson upside. Yeah. Look at those guys. The upside that Antonio Gibson gives you is far superior to any of those guys that I have listed below him. You can't tell me that any of those guys have better upside than Antonio Gibson. If everything plays out perfectly, who's the best running back? Who would put up the most points? Stop. He's not even going to play on third downs.
Honestly, there is a running back that you don't have on here that I do want to talk about that I would consider having almost over Antonio Gibson, and that I don't want to go with where Bailey has, but he brings up why wouldn't you have J-Rob in the top 24?
You can't. Listen, there is a balance and a fine line between upside play, knowing what you're getting, and guys coming back from injury. Like, you can't put James Robinson in your top 20 today. Honestly, if you have James Robinson on your team, you cannot start him if you have backs that are arguably have already been playing that you feel are similar or could put up similar numbers. You can't play him. I have James Robinson in a number of leagues. He is not playing for me today. And I think James Robinson, I'm a big James Robinson guy. I think he's going to be over ETN. But week 1, you can't do that. You can't take that risk. He might come out. He might get 6 carries. We can all the coach speak. He's hurt. Like, it's a difference between being in a doghouse and being hurt and coming back from a big time injury like an Achilles with a guy like Travis Etienne there. So you just can't take that chance. Now, if you don't have backs to go in there and you have to put them in there, that's one thing. But if you deciding between today Clyde Edwards-Helaire and James Robinson, I'm sorry, you better start Clyde.
There's no reason there's no reason why you shouldn't have any running backs ahead of Jay, like, because the way the ADP, the way ADP
got hurt, you could have taken like a J.K. Dobbins ahead of him.
Yeah.
And now you have J.K. out. You could have taken, maybe you took Cam Akers and you didn't like the setup against Buffalo, so you didn't play.
Yeah,
Cam
I wish
Akers.
I did that. Started his ass. Goose egg, baby.
Hey, that's shame on you because you should have listened to our fantasy shows in the offseason because I said to not draft Cam Akers. Like Akers,
we were very down on Cam Akers. We have been very down on Cam Akers.
Well, I took his ass. But Bailey brings up one more point here on Robinson. Then we can move on or do whatever you want to do there, host. He said there's a chance of rain, right? That scares me even more. Guys coming off an Achilles. You don't want him going out there slipping. Oh, crap. There it goes again. You know? That honestly makes me more scared.
You're not going to slip and there goes your Achilles again. Like, that's not what you're really worried about.
It's still like
not really re-injuring. It's not the Achilles. Like, these injuries are not really worried about re-injuring them again. It's about if the doctor has cleared you, you're clear. It's 100% repaired. You're fine. The problem is mentally, and we talked about this with Cam Akers. Mentally, you have to be able to think you can do everything you've been able to do in the past. And sometimes that's a struggle. It's not the physical aspect of it. It's mentally coming back saying, I trust my body to do this, and I'm not going to be timid. I'm going to take that same hard plant in the ground and cut that I normally would take. That's what players have trouble with, and that's why it takes them a year sometimes to get back to where they were. And I think that's what you worry about. I don't think James Robinson's going to be fine. He's probably a little bit out of football shape. That's going to be a concern. Is he going to be able to get into the fourth quarter and still be able to run like James Robinson? I don't think so. you just have to be very cautious with him today, which is why he's not in my top 24. Would it surprise me if he's in there? No. But I'm going to take a cautious approach with a guy like that. Whereas Antonio Gibson, I'm saying, you know what? These 4 weeks are his opportunity. I'm going all in with Antonio Gibson for the first 4 weeks because when Brian Robinson comes back week 5, if possible, then you're like, shit, now what do I do? Because maybe then it starts to be that question mark again. So I just, like I said, I would take those guys over James Robinson today. But I would look for James Robinson, what you see from him to evaluate that going week 2 and week 3.
That's fair.
And Vinny, I don't know how to send this DraftKings.
That's fine. I was trying to figure it out as well. But I don't have, I'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. I also don't know how to get it to AJ because I don't know his name. But I digress. Let's go into the wide receivers and I will figure that one out. Wide receivers 1 through 12 here. AJ Brown at number 1, Devontae Adams at 2, Michael Pittman Jr. at 3, Justin Jefferson, CeeDee Lamb, and Courtland Sutton round out the top 6 for Aaron's wide receivers in week 1. Dylan, when you look at this 1 through 12 list, is there a name that stands out to you that you either want to talk about or maybe it's a little too high, too low?
Courtland Sutton at 6. And I could say the same, not only Courtland Sutton at 6. I mean, that's, whew, talk about spicy. That's a new quarterback. I wanted to talk about 2. Courtland Sutton, Deontay Johnson. Deontay Johnson at 10, right? He's a great wide receiver. Big Ben volume the hell out of that guy. He cranked it. Just freaking, you ever seen the movie Elf where the dude just started whipping him like that? That's what Big Ben was doing to Deontay Johnson on a consistent basis, 14 targets and stuff. Not that he won't get the target share, but Mitch Trubisky here against a division opponent in week 1, a guy that's been battling injury throughout the course of the week who said he might not even be ready, but that changed. But what I'm saying is he was battling injury, and you got Mitch Trubisky, who I don't think will force feed the ball to him. This is a guy who made Taylor Gabriel look good for a year, a guy who threw it to Anthony Miller. He threw it to A-Rob. He spread the ball around where he was. I know it's a different offense now in Pittsburgh. I questioned Deontay Johnson at 10 in week 1. That's one thing. Back to Courtland Sutton. He's at 6. That I know Seattle's trash, all right? I know Seattle's trash, and this is a revenge game for Mr. Russell Wilson. But I don't think you can handpick a wide receiver and put them at 6 for Denver. I think it could be him, it could be Judy, it could be anybody on that offense. I think Courtland Sutton is just you threw him up there and hope that he was the 6.
You're right, though. We had this conversation the other day in our fantasy show. Who was my perfect play, my perfect lineup? Courtland Sutton was in it. And I told Vinny, I said, hey, this could be Jerry Jeudy. Like it really could be Jerry Jeudy. I'm sold as Courtland Sutton. One of those guys today will have 100 yards and 2, or tomorrow in this case, will have 100 yards and 2 touchdowns. I truly believe that. And it is a revenge game. Russell Wilson is going to ball out in this game. They are going to get him involved to make a statement. Denver is going to be able to throw the ball on Seattle's past secondary. The safeties are great secondaries, especially in the box, sometimes struggle in coverage. The corners are not great. I think that Courtland Sutton is that guy, but you're absolutely right. This was more Judy or Sutton. I think it's Sutton. I'm putting Sutton in there. I didn't want to rank them both at 10 and 11. Like, you see sometimes if you think one of those guys could hit, they'll be back to back. I didn't want to do that. I think it's going to be Courtland Sutton. I'm going to make a statement, and I put him at 6. I think he has a really good day. To your point about Deontay Johnson, I think the targets will always be there for Deontay, because what Pittsburgh does is they get certain style receivers. They get a Claypool with a Deontay Johnson. Deontay Johnson will be the guy, 10-yard digs, 8-yard outs, move the ball. Claypool's the big play threat. Pickens, big plays. Like that's what they're going to be looking for. It's going to be Freiermuth and Deontay Johnson being peppered with targets, because that's how their offense is built. I don't think that Big Ben,
Brown, Marcus Wheaton.
To be honest,
let's
be honest. Mitch Trubisky's probably better than Big Ben right now. From a quarterback, I can throw the ball standpoint, probably better. From a mental standpoint, I would say no, that Big Ben obviously has the experience. But I do think Mitch Trubisky will be able to pepper Deontay Johnson with targets. I also think he's the most talented one there, which I will always lean on talent with opportunity. And so he's in my top 10. And Bailey does make a good point. Cooper Kupp's not playing. Stephon Diggs is out. It's going to move all these guys up a little bit, right? So 10 today could have been 12, 13, 14 if you include those guys. 6 today could have been 8, 9, closer to 10. So that's why I have them there.
Michael Thomas officially active. How about that? Didn't think I'd ever see those words again.
I'm glad because we wouldn't have had a show if he wasn't.
Yeah, Aaron, you were ready. You were pretty much locked and loaded to go off if Michael Thomas was not playing in this game. But so real quick question: do you have either way? So what you're saying is either way, either Cortland Sutton or Jerry Jeudy will be in there at that 6th spot at the end of this game.
Let me clarify. I think Cortland Sutton has the ability to get to 6. I really don't think Jerry Jeudy's going to get to 6, but I do think if it's Jerry Jeudy's game, if that's the guy who stands out, he will be in that top 10 somewhere, probably closer to the 10 side.
Okay. All right. Well, that just seems like it would. I don't know. That just I'm not disagreeing with you at all because I agree with you on the point that one of these wide receivers is going to be special for Russell Wilson's offense. I just think that it'll be weird to see Jerry Jeudy listed at 6 at the end of the week, but definitely possible. Just because it's weird, that doesn't mean it's not going to be happening. Let's move on to our wide receivers 13 through 24. Dylan, Aaron, I'll start with you, Aaron. Is there any wide receiver from this list that you want to bring up that maybe was hard to rank or something that you was like, I'm definitely locking him in this spot because of such and such?
Yeah, there were a couple that were hard to rank, and there's probably some questions about why. Mike Williams is so far down. T. Higgins is so far down. I got guys like Christian Kirk and Brandon Ayuk ahead of those guys. I'll be honest, the connection between Trey Lance and Brandon Ayuk, and then with George Kittle being out, that's something I like there. There is rain there, so I'm worried a little bit about that. The weather could play a factor on if they can throw the ball. But then again, opportunity and volume is important to me, which is why I have Christian Kirk there. I think he is the go-to target for Jacksonville. I think he's going to get peppered with targets. Just those two guys are probably the names that don't really jump off the screen that people will be like, why are they there? I just think it's about opportunity. Defenses they're playing against. Washington's secondary is not great. The Bears, we already know, we've talked about their defense and how good it's not anymore. So I think those two names stand out to me the most there. The T. Higgins and DK Metcalf is probably what people are looking at. It's quarterback play. It's there's something about Pittsburgh's defense that I still want to believe in, that I don't think Cincinnati just goes crazy on them. And so that's why I'm a little bit down more on a Jamar Chase and a T. Higgins this week.
I know how much Dylan loved that DK Metcalf talk, so I'm sure he's enjoyed.
I actually have him on my fantasy football team.
You son of a bitch!
He just kept falling. But
because
I know
quarterback play, because people are scared of the quarterback play. I am not for the long term. But tomorrow, when you go against a defense like Denver's, who has a really good defense, good secondary, Pat Surtain's going to be there. That's going to be a tougher matchup. But over the course of the season, I think Metcalf will be fine.
I know we'll get into this later, Aaron, but throw it up right now. Christian Kirk, DK Metcalf. That's my decision today.
Christian Kirk.
Yeah, because he's ranked higher. I'm an idiot. My bad. Let's move on.
Yeah.
Look at the rankings, dumbass.
There you go. Let's go on to our quarterback. Was there any other questions for wide receivers or any? I guess I'll ask this question here real quick. Scott. Oh, you boy, Scotty.
What's up, Scotty?
Zanesville.
What impact will Alec Pierce have on the Colts passing offense?
Tell him to call AJ.
I'm about to say this is more of an AJ question because AJ loves him some Alec Pierce.
I'm sorry, but Alec Pierce should not be in lineups unless you just don't have a good team.
Could be a deep league.
I'm assuming. I mean,
it's more
you're in a deep league, Vinny. Do you got Alec Pierce? I made you draft 20 spots. Will you be starting Alec Pierce today?
I will not because there's also. Well, I don't.
I'll just say this. I'm not saying that he can't have a good day or he won't have an impact in this offense. But with guys like that, you are waiting. You are waiting to see. You're not starting him week 1. You're waiting to see. Now, you might have to miss out on that 102 touchdown game and be like, I knew it, whatever. But you have to see what he's going to be in an offense in a regular season game, because you would be pissed off if you start him over a guy that you know is going to be in the game and he comes out and he plays 22% of the snaps and gets one catch for 12 yards. So
just throwing the freaking.
Be cautious with rookies. Be cautious with guys that you're not sure about their role in an offense. I would just say stay away week one. You want those sure things, guys you know are going to be on the field, you know are going to get some volume, and then from then you can start to gauge how you want to go about setting your lineups week 2 through the rest of the season.
Yeah, what you don't want is them to just start loading up to Mr. Ashton Doolin and stuff, and then
had a good preseason. You just never know. Paris Campbell's there. I know he's been injured, but he is there.
Hear one more Paris Campbell thing, I'm going to scream.
But he's healthy right now.
He's always healthy in week 1.
No, but that's my point. Is maybe he's healthy today, and that's the guy, and then he's no longer healthy. You know what I mean? So week 1 is just. Trust me, I'm not advocating for Paris Campbell anymore. I love him coming out of the draft, but I'm not.
Wait, so what you're saying is start Paris Campbell this week because this is the only week you're going to be able to start him because he's going to get hurt.
Honestly, it's like Sammy Watkins, bro. Like every week 1, Sammy Watkins goes off. That's how somebody's going to be, and then he'll be irrelevant for the rest of the year. And guess what? That waiver wire money or waiver wire draft pick or order that you go and spend that pick on, and then that guy never plays again. That's what happens after week 1.
People love Paris Campbell early on. I've been hearing a lot about him. But let's go into the tight end, the quarterbacks here real quick, 1 through 12. We got Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Jalen Hurts, Kyler Murray, Trey Lance, Russell Wilson in your top 6. Obviously, Josh Allen played on Thursday, so he does not make this list. But Dylan, Aaron Rodgers at 7. Is this a red flag to you without maybe Alan Lazard in the offense and a lot of new faces for him to throw to?
New faces, not new places here for Minnesota. Like this guy, he's a walking 30-point day against Minnesota. Usually that's one team that you're comfortable starting Aaron Rodgers against because he's done it to him for years. However, I do question Aaron Rodgers, Vinny. You're exactly right. This guy's sitting there at 7, top 10, right? His legs aren't what they used to be. He doesn't have I question, without Alan Lazard, you lose to Devontae Adams. He goes into this year without that one guy. He had a Jordy Nelson. He had a Donald Driver. He had all this. He had all these fresh toys that he's groomed into being great receivers. He did Devontae Adams. He got him right after 3 years of mediocrity. He got him good. I'm looking at this Packers offense, and maybe it's checkdowns to Aaron Jones, but this guy's going to need to – if A.J. Dillon has 2 touchdowns on the ground, Aaron Rodgers is irrelevant today. He's irrelevant. He needs his touchdowns. Maybe Bobby Tunney gets one, and he throws it out there.
Bobby Tunney.
But other than that,
that's a great point. And I agree, but you want to know why he's going to get the touchdowns? Because he's the guy and the 1 yard line that he's not handing that ball off. He's going to throw a touchdown. Like that's what he does. Aaron Rodgers is notorious for this. He might not have the yardage total. You're right. And I think his fantasy upside today is going to be predicated on touchdowns, but he's going to find a way to throw 2 or 3 touchdowns. Like I just know Aaron Rodgers, they get in that red zone, he's going to find a way. And I trust him. And that Minnesota defense, I do not trust, especially on the back end. Old Patrick Peterson, Dantzler on Prancer on Dantzler, old Harrison Smith. I just don't buy it. Aaron Rodgers is the guy that does not need a number 1 receiver. Aaron Rodgers, like you said, Donald Driver, Jordy Nelson. Aaron Rodgers made those dudes.
Right. But they were legit. He doesn't have anyone made right now.
But what I'm saying is he did make them.
Yes.
I have all the faith in the world.
You think he makes them week 1, which puts him at a 7 spot today? No shot.
I will take Aaron Rodgers putting the ball where it needs to be, and then I trust that Green Bay does have enough weapons to get to spots on the field that they need to be. I actually do trust Romeo Dobbs. I know Dobbs. I trust Aaron Jones. I do trust Robert Tonyan. I do trust. Is Sammy Watkins playing today? Because Sammy Watkins could go off if he's on this team.
Sammy Watkins always goes off. I watched. All right.
That's my point. Sammy Watkins is a veteran. Could he not have 2 touchdowns today?
He absolutely could. I saw him do it to the Jags week 1. Vinny, remember that?
Point. So
I do.
Aaron Rodgers will find a way. I think his upside is capped. I don't think he can finish top 3, even though against Minnesota he usually does, which is why I have him at 7.
Okay. Let's go into your back half of your quarterback rankings here, 13 through 18, as we move on through the show. Justin Fields, Tua Tagovailoa, Derek Carr, famous Jameis Winston, Baker Mayfield, and Matt Ryan. I want to jump just right into that, Aaron, with Baker Mayfield there at 17. I feel like this is a quarterback that when you say, I obviously Justin Fields, you have him at the backside of the top 12. Like if I were to ask you who's the one who's most likely to get into the top 12, it would probably be Justin Fields because he's right there at 13. But what do you think about Baker Mayfield's chance to be a quarterback one in this game against his former team?
No shot.
Not QB one, but like a top 12 quarterback.
No shot.
Okay.
That's what I was saying. No shot to. I knew you didn't mean number one overall.
Yeah.
That would be stupid.
Yeah.
But no, I don't think he has a shot to finish as top 12 quarterback.
He's a top 8 quarterback today.
Who is?
Baker. Baker's a freaking competitor. All right. This guy's a pissed off quarter. Like he's going up
to do with any of that. Has
yes,
nothing to do with any of that.
Yes, it does. Because Baker goes in.
It has everything to do with their offense, and that Christian McCaffrey is the only person that's going to touch the damn ball for 3/4 of that game. He's going to get too many touches to allow Baker Mayfield to be a top 12 quarterback.
They got enough wide receiver talent there, and Baker Mayfield has the poise. I know he's just got there, so he's still trying to learn everything with the playbook and stuff like that. They try to open it up. This is going to be a Baker Mayfield day, and I'm going to come on in 12 hours and talk about what he did.
There is no chance that this is a Baker Mayfield day. He could have a good day, which is why he's where he's at. Like it could be, it's not
he's where he's at. He's a 17. He's a bottom half quarterback today.
That's a top end,
bro.
That's like a middle quarterback too.
Yeah,
that's what he is. At his best, that's what he is.
Not today.
In an offense that is going to run through Christian McCaffrey against a good Browns defense, like you just discredited the Browns defense.
I don't care. I'm telling you, Baker Mayfield's pissed off. I take a competitor. I don't care about rankings of this, rankings of that. I look at the character of a person. Baker Mayfield's going to be lit up. He's going to be lit up today. He's going to be fired up. He's
what about the talent of a person, Dylan?
He's going to wake up feeling dangerous, coach. I wake up feeling dangerous. Cheesiest, baby. That's Baker today.
Baker Mayfield's ceiling today is probably 14.
Never. You are just blasphemous. Now you're speaking out of your ass.
I mean, look at the quarterbacks ahead of him. Who is he going to have a better day than?
Throw it up there, Vinny.
Bring up the top 12 first.
Yeah, hold on here.
Just tell me who he's going to have a better day than. Good luck.
Good luck.
Cuzzy? Better day than Cuzzy?
Good luck. Dylan doesn't even have an answer. Dylan,
I'm processing the information, Dad.
Yeah, go ahead. Tell me who he's going to have a better day than.
Could be better than Joe. I don't trust that.
Better than Cuzzy.
Yes.
And then that's only the top 12.
Sunday night game. The Sunday night. I'm processing the information. Give me a second here. I think you're too high on Trey Lance. I think that guy could finish outside the top 8. Maybe he's at 9.
It doesn't matter. That what I'm telling you is you say Baker could get in the top 12. So who on this list is Baker going to be better than?
I said Burrow, Cousins. Then there's a top 10 list. I think Trey Lance finishes at 9.
You're Dylan, stop. We're only talking about Baker Mayfield. So do you think Baker Mayfield finishes ahead of Trey Lance?
Yes. Yes. Trey Lance starting at Chicago, slop fest, no Kittle. Hell yeah. You can't tell me I'm not wrong.
You're wrong. Are you not accounting for Trey Lance on the ground?
Sure. I'm accounting for Trey Lance on the ground, but what's he going to do through the air?
Doesn't matter. Like that's the point of having a quarterback that runs, because he can be 15 for 32 with 160 yards, a touchdown and 2 picks, and run for 70 yards and a touchdown on the ground, and that's going to be better than anything Baker Mayfield could do. That's the point.
Just saying. Baker Mayfield's got that dog in him. He's feeling dangerous.
And then that was, again, top 12. You had 3 quarterbacks that you possibly see Baker Mayfield over. And that's not even including the guys that were at 13, 14, 15, and 16. That's my point. Is good luck telling Baker Mayfield he's getting into the top 12.
Good point.
There you go. All right, let's go on. Let's go on to our tight ends here, 1 through 12. It's normally pretty easy when we go through 1 through about we already know Kelsey, Andrews, Pitts, no Kittle this week, so that's not there. So Skoltz is on there. That's the thing. Skoltz is on there. But where I wanted to go here real quick is 10 and 11 in Cameron Brate and David Njoku. Really specifically Cameron Brate. You've been high, Aaron, on him. Higher than you've given Cameron Brate more chatter in fantasy this year than I have heard in the fantasy community. So elaborate on your 11 ranking here.
Yeah, I think it's absolutely stupid that people aren't giving him the respect he deserves. Tom Brady and tight ends, are we not paying attention? Like, I get it's not Gronk. I'm not saying he's got to be Gronk, but he is going to be targeted.
Yo, his retirement party last night was absolutely wild. I walked by that shit and he was shirtless, just buzzing.
I'm not here to talk about Gronk. He's a partier.
Guy's an animal.
But yeah, Cameron Brate should be on people's radars from the tight end position. Definitely. This is a guy, again, with Tom Brady. I know they have weapons. I know they got Godwin and Gage and Julio, but Tom Brady loves his tight ends. And they like Cameron Brate there. Like, think about all the tight ends that have come and gone through that system over the past couple of seasons. Who's the guy that stayed and got paid and got a contract from them was Cameron Brate. Through the O.J. Howards, through the Gronkowskis, Cameron Brate still got paid, and he's still there. They really like him there. I think he's going to have a decent season, and I think he's going to be a valuable asset on fantasy teams. He's not going to be top 5, top 3, like all that stuff, but there are going to be weeks he has a couple of touchdowns, 5 catches, 50 yards, and a tutty. Like, it's going to be sometimes that happens, and he's going to have some fantasy value. So this week, I like it. Against Dallas, whose linebackers are not great in coverage, especially if Parsons is blitzing and, getting after the passer, opening in space. We don't have the Cowboys don't have the best safety play when it comes to covering those guys. Those are the guys that usually beat the Dallas Cowboys, guys over the middle of the field. I think he has a good day here.
Dylan, is there a tight end that you want to discuss before we roll on?
Yeah, throw it up there.
Throw it up there.
Throw it up there.
You want to talk about Skoltz?
Skoltz is weird. I tell you. I feel like Waller's still getting a little bit disrespected here. I know you bring in Davante Adams, but that guy, you talk about getting peppered with targets. Darren Waller might be the most underrated tight end in fantasy football this year. I like him a lot. I really do. And at 5, I think it's a little bit too low. This was a guy who was a top 5, top 3 tight end the last few years. I mean, he was a solid option for Derek Carr in that offense. I don't think that changes with the addition of Davante.
I think you're right to an extent. It has to change with Davante because the difference before was Darren Waller was the main target. There was no wide receiver 1. Davante Adams is the wide receiver 1, and he is going to be the focal point. And then right behind him is going to be Darren Waller, I believe. So I think Darren Waller is going to be great, but I mean, have him at 5. You want to split hairs and say he could be, 4, 3 this week? Sure. Of course he can. It's Darren Waller. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I mean, again, you're right. But I do think there is something to be said that the targets that he used to see, 13, 14, it's not going to happen this year. It's not going to happen with Davante Adams on the field. Hunter Renfro's still there. They just never had a wide receiver to go to before. It was always Darren Waller. And now they got a wide receiver that's the man.
The dude. He is actually pretty good. I hear that Davante Adams guy is pretty good. All right, the back half of your tight ends, real quick, and we're gonna roll. We're gonna be pushing through here. Cole Kmet, Hunter Henry, Mike Gesicki with a T, Noah Fant, Gerald Everett,
George
Everett,
and Alberto round out your top 18 tight ends. Aaron, real quick, elaborate on Cole Kmet and what do you think you can see from him this week?
I think he's going to be one of the primary targets for Justin Fields. Oh, by the way, great transition. It looks like Velus Jones had to go check into the senior citizen home because he is out today. So there's no Velus Jones in this game. I think Cole Kmet and Darnell Mooney are the focal points of the offense. Yeah, Cole Kmet, I don't want to go too crazy, but he's going to be a steady tight end probably play all year long. I do think it's a good tight end play. I think he'll finish in the top 10 a number of weeks. And if he can score some touchdowns, I think he can have some good value.
Okay. I know Dylan loves that Cole Kmet pick. I know Dylan loves that.
EQ St. Brown is wide receiver too. My guy.
Goodness gracious. All right, let's go. That does it for our rankings and discussing them. Make sure you put those guys in your lineup that Aaron likes, and don't put the guys in your lineup that Dylan likes. And we'll go on to our injury report here. Michael Thomas headlines this list. Deontay Johnson, Logan Thomas, Drake London are the notable actives playing today. Notable inactives, we got J.K. Dobbins, George Kittle, and I know David Bakhtiari is not a fantasy player. You should not be doing fantasy offensive lineman if that's even possible. But I wanted to throw him in here for the inactives to ask you, Aaron, do you think that this impacts anybody here today in terms of Packers on the Packers offense that David Bakhtiari is not playing?
Yeah, I think that is big. I definitely think it's big for Aaron Rodgers not to have his guy. Aaron Rodgers is all about trust and all about being protected and things like that. So I think it definitely has an impact on the game for sure. Fantasy perspective, I don't know. I don't think so. I think he'll still be able to run the football. I think Aaron Rodgers will be good enough. I think it's an issue for the real game, but for fantasy perspective, I think they'll be okay.
Okay. All right. Fair. And yes, Michael Thomas is active, so you cannot shit on us. You cannot yell at us. You cannot hate. What's your expectations from him today? What's your stat line? Give me a Michael Thomas stat line.
I'll go 6 for 65.
Woo! That's a good day. What?
No Teddy. No Teddy today. 6 for 65.
Okay. All right. That's fair. All right. Injuries are done. Rankings are done. Aaron, I want to do a start and sit. You're one player for each category. We're going to roll through this. A player that you want that is your start of the week, and a player that you are sitting this week that you will no chance start. Well, other than like the obvious, you know what I mean.
Oh, again, putting me on the spot. You couldn't tell us we were doing this before.
Well, I did it to Dylan, but you're Mr. Oh, I don't need to know anything about.
Oh, that's fine. I could give you a name.
Exactly. I don't know why we have to bring this up. Like, oh, I'll be away. There you go, putting me on the spot because you always do that. It's like, oh yeah, I can't believe you're putting me on the spot. But I could do this easily. 1, 2, 3, bing, bang, boom, just like that. I gave it to Dylan in the chat because I know that I didn't want to put him on the spot, but you, and then you do this to me. Get back.
All right. My start of the week, and this is a guy that you may or may not even have on your roster, maybe on the bench. You probably could say this is a sleeper. I don't know. But I have him on some teams. I wish I could start him, but I can't start him over the guys I got because I draft so well. It's Nico Collins against the Colts. I really, really liked him this week. I think he's going to get a ton of opportunity. You look at the Colts defense. They added in Stephon Gilmore. Brandon Cooks is the main guy there. I don't know if Stephon Gilmore is going to follow him or not. But the fact remains, I do think he's going to have a tougher time today. I think Nico Collins on the other side should be able to find the end zone in this one. I think he's going to get a number of targets, being that other guy, and they really don't have anybody else. Give me some Nico Collins today against the Colts. I feel like Houston's going to be behind. They're going to have to throw the football. I think you can see double digits points for Nico Collins today.
Okay. All right. Dylan, what's your start?
Pop that, Dylan.
You know where I'm going, fellas. It's where I went to end last season, and this guy was an absolute tank. Give me some Rashad Penny.
That's who I was going to go. I was actually going to pick him just for you, but I let you have him.
See, you knew I was going there. See, that's that. Yeah, Penny. Penny given Sunday, baby. Oh, Penny given Monday because he's playing Monday against Denver. But still, that guy's got a good matchup. And hey, you talk about the whole Paris Campbell conversation week 1, the whole conversation you have with Mr. Sammy Watkins in week 1. Rashad Penny's healthy week 1, and he's the bell cow in that backfield for now. Well, sure, we might see Ken from time to time, but this is Ken's backfield by the end of the year after Penny pulls a hammy or something stupid that ends his entire season. But all I'm saying is Penny week 1, that's a great matchup. He's going to get run, and he's going to do damage. I got Rashad starting in my league.
Okay. And Aaron, what about a sit?
My sit is Kareem Hunt.
Ooh. Is he playing? Is he active? Is he a thing?
Of course.
Yeah, he's a thing.
My sit is Kareem Hunt. I don't know if he's even playing. I mean, haven't seen the actives, inactives. Only you have. But I think Kareem Hunt is still being drafted where he's been drafted, and I don't like it. I think Nick Chubb is the play here. I think he gets a ton of work. The fact that Kareem Hunt did not play in the preseason, been holding out for a new contract. I haven't heard much about him over the last couple of days, so I'm going to say Kareem Hunt. If you have him and drafted him, keep him on your bench today.
Dylan?
I'm going Chase Claypool. I know a lot of people will be sitting here and be like, "Oh, I want him. I want him." I'm willing to go bold here. Some people like Chase Claypool. They raved about him in camp. They said he started to mature a little bit. They're saying he's that big body guy. He could be a go-get-him ball the way Allen Robinson was for Trubisky back in Chicago. I'm staying away from Mr. Chase Claypool today. I think that's a good – I know the Cincinnati defense, Aaron talks about him. He always throws up Mr. Eli Apple, going apple picking behind him. But that defense is still – I mean, you got Jesse Bates in that secondary. There's enough talented players that I don't think Claypool has a big day today. So I'm sitting Claypool. I think it's more Deontay Johnson. I could see some George Pickens. He mentioned Freiermuth getting the targets. Claypool's going to need a big day down the field, and he's going to need a touchdown if he wants to have success. I don't buy it in week one. I'm a wait and see with Claypool as well.
I'm a get Claypool out of my face type of guy. That's how I am. I'm a fuck Chase Claypool.
Whoa!
Hey, but hey,
oh, AJ's mother.
Hey, he's Canadian, and don't you forget it. Yeah. Don't you forget that Chase Claypool is Canadian. I'll just drop my starts of the week as a little nugget. My start of the week is Michael Pittman Jr. I think that he has a phenomenal day with the Indianapolis Colts. I think, like we said in our game previews, if you missed those, go check them out at Sack City Pod on YouTube. I think that this is the game that the Colts really just let loose. They try and get their offense figured out. A game against the Houston Texans where get Matt Ryan in the rhythm with his wide receivers, real game action here. Michael Pittman's going to be the number one receiver for Matt Ryan, who is a very good, serviceable quarterback. Michael Pittman Jr. is my start of the week. And my sit of the week, other than I told everyone this personally, that I'm sitting Allen Robinson, I'm sitting Cam Akers this week. There's not a chance they get in my lineup, and I was right, 2 for 2 on that. I'm sitting. Maybe you can't sit them, but I am sitting like your Juju Smith-Schuster. I worry about those this week. I worry about like the wide receiver by committee receivers in week one, just because we don't know how it's going to be. And the likelihood of you getting goosed or like maybe a 3-point or 4-point day, like it's really strong. So I'm worried about the guys like Juju, MVS. Those guys are my sit. Did you gentlemen get the DFS link?
Yeah, I don't think you sent the right one though.
What?
Because it doesn't have the Sunday night game and it doesn't have the Monday game, and we usually play.
Yeah, I thought I did that. That was
the entire slate.
Well, we can play without it.
I'm setting a lineup right now in some made up one, and I'll just tell you what my lineup is.
I'm gonna send it now that the show is wrapping up. We are at the noon mark. We can play around with things here.
Okay.
I see. Wait. Oh, Sunday and Monday. There it is. Okay. You're right. I did do the wrong one. And I'm a piece of shit for it.
We understand the situation.
Yeah, there you go. I'm getting it set up right now.
Thank you. We got time. It's okay.
Exactly.
Send it to my email.
It's week one. We're still trying to get through training camp as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. I cannot.
Can we do the sleeper of the week?
We can. Aaron, do you have a sleeper of the week? We can get in the gondola. Streamer of the week. Dylan, give me a sleeper. Aaron, give me the actually reverse. Aaron, give me the sleeper. Dylan, give me the DFS play or the defensive play.
The streaming defense for me, or
yep.
I'm getting the defense. Right.
No, yeah. Dylan gets the streaming defense. You get the sleeper.
Sleeper right now, top of your head.
Isaac Pacheco. No, top of my head, sleeper. I don't know the top of my head. It's the bottom of my head, I guess.
It's 9:00.
Oh, this is tough. This is really, really tough. Sleeper of the week. We said double digits, right? They have to be double digits.
Double digits.
Ooh, I like that. Is that a new twist?
My sleeper of the week, double digits, is I don't want to do it. I'm going to
Do
say
it.
KJ Hamler. I'm going to say KJ Hamler.
He's gonna
Wow.
go Hamler.
KJ Hamler of Denver is my sleeper of the week. Take a Monday night. I got KJ Hamler. Yeah, no
There you
analysis
go.
on that one. We'll
There
have
you
it in-
go. Dylan, let's get in the gondola. I don't have the video, but sleep. Ride in the gondola. Wait, I'll do what we did before. Bye, Aaron. Dylan, you and me in the gondola together, buddy. Just kicking it back, old school. You and me. I'll put my arm around you if you want. Just what's your streaming defense of the week?
Duval! Carson Wentz ain't shit, baby.
Oh my.
No run. You got to figure out the whole Antonio Gibson situation. You got some lockdown corners. You signed Mr. Darius. You got some other guys out there. You already got Shaq Griffin. You got a secondary that's good. You got Cisco out there. The linebacking core, Chad Muma. You got some other Devin Lloyd. You got a pass rush with Mr. Josh Allen and Mr. Trayvon Walker. A defensive front that can stop the run and a little bit of rain. Duval, baby. We got a pick 6 in our forecast.
Attaboy. Shout out Porto.
Shout out Porto.
Hey, Porto coming to the Duval this year, baby.
Hey, that game's gonna be fun. Did everyone get the DFS link? Everyone good?
We did.
Okay, great.
Can you send it to my email?
I cannot send it to your email. I'm not going through all that. Okay. Pull up Facebook on your computer and then click the link there. Great, fantastic. All right, so the way this is going to work, if you guys are new to the show, we do a DFS draft on our show. And last year that Aaron, you won our season-long DFS plays, and you will get to decide the order here this morning.
Oh, I didn't anticipate being able to do that. Well, I will take the number. I will let Vinny go first.
Great.
I will go second. Dylan will go third.
How nice of you.
What a real swell guy you are.
So you get to go first, Vinny. Yeah, you get your first choice.
No, that's fine. That's fair. That's fair. My number one pick then will be. I'm going to go with. I'll go with Aaron Jones as my first pick. We talked about him being a locked and loaded top 5 guy this year, this week possibly. I think his cost too is nice on DraftKings as well at 6,700. Give me Aaron Jones first.
I will take Alvin Kamara. I don't think there needs to be an explanation. He's playing Atlanta.
Fair enough.
That's good enough explanation from your vantage point. I will take the guy that I said to start, which is Rashad Penny.
So I think you technically, Dylan, you would have 2 picks here, but
all right, I'm back on the clock. After Rashad Penny, give me some. Jonathan.
You say you take Jonathan Taylor?
Jonathan Taylor and Rashad Penny.
Okay. Aaron?
I will take Travis Kelce.
That's such a good pick. I will go with give me Mark Andrews. And I'll complete the stack. Give me Lamar Jackson.
It's a good stack. I thought about a stack. I thought about stacking there, but I'm not going to. I'm going to go to the wide receiver position, and I am going to take Tyreek Hill.
Good pick. He lower price point too. He's not one of the higher costing wide receivers there. He's at 6,800.
Dylan for 2.
I can't believe he's this low. Give me Devontae Smith.
It's a good pick.
It's a great pick.
Good pick.
Good pick. What are you, Kit Carshaw? Good pick. Good pick. Not so fast, my friend.
You are on the turn, buddy. You got another pick to go.
Yeah.
I understand.
Do you?
Yeah. Give me Mike Evans.
Okay.
That's nice. That's nice.
My dog likes the pick too.
Shout out Layla.
I am going to go with wide receiver again here. I'm going to go AJ Brown.
I had him in my lineup already. That is a good pick. It's a good pick. I will go with the wide receiver as well, and I will go with Michael Pittman. And then on the turn, I will go with the man. You know what? I'm gonna do it. Give me James Robinson.
Yeah.
Oof, that's ugly.
That is very ugly.
That's just disgusting.
It's fine with me.
You know what?
When James
I got
Robinson gets in the end zone.
This is Aaron's pick.
It's Aaron's turn.
Shit.
Sorry, I'm still dying over here.
Don't die.
Don't you die. I am going to take. Oh, this is so tough right now.
Let's go, AJ.
I'm going to take my defense now since I don't know who to pick. I'm going to take my defense. I'm going to take the Giants defense.
Ooh.
Giants.
I'm on the clock for 2.
Really?
I took Michael Pittman earlier. I took J-Rob. Give me, you know what? I'm gonna load up on all the injured guys that are coming back and go with a big day. Give me Michael Thomas.
Oh, you asshole!
Give me Michael Thomas, and you know what? I will also take my defense here. Oh man, maybe I won't take my defense just yet. Man, give me Darnell Mooney as my other wide receiver.
You can take him. Who's up?
You, Aaron.
Unbelievable. I don't think
We've been doing this draft for how long, Dylan? And you still don't know who's up?
I'm gonna go.
Players, you guys got a whole team.
I'm gonna go with Saquon Barkley. You're laughing, but I don't know why.
Is it my turn?
It is. You're on the clock for 2.
You know, the human body's crazy. You got elbows, and when you got elbows, you got knees. When you got fingers, you got toes. And give me some Jameis Winston. Body. That was the best interview I've ever seen in my life. With Jameis Winston, I'm throwing a stack. Welcome back to the Bayou. Give me some Jarvis.
Aaron?
I am also stacking here. I'm gonna go with my quarterback, and I'm gonna go Jalen Hurts.
Am I allowed to? No, I guess that has to be after the draft to make sure none of you guys take it. But I found with money, there's a running back I'd rather have over James Robinson.
Well, unfortunately, you've already picked your player, so
I know. So after the draft, if this guy goes undrafted, I'm just going to swap that and make that little swap skis. Because I'm literally like all out of money. Like the way my checking account works and my bank account works, I got a checking and a savings. And but so these are my 2 final picks as well. So
how about you make them?
I'm trying to, buddy. I am trying to figure out how my bank account's going to work here. I'll go with Dylan. I'll go with Dylan's streaming defense, and I'll go with the Jags defense.
It's a good one.
And then I will go with Aaron's wide receiver and his sleeper was it your sleeper? I don't know if it was your sleeper. It might have been. I'll go with Nico Collins.
Okay. And your money works, okay?
I am at $0.00. Yes.
Okay.
But if I can swap a certain player, I'm going to at the end of this, and we're going to talk about it.
Okay. I'm going to go cheap here on the last 2 because I stacked up pretty heavy on some studs. I'm going to go pretty cheap, but the guys that could show out, I'm going to take Romeo Doubs for Green Bay.
Is it Dobbs?
It is. We call
Dubs.
I thought it was Dubs forever.
Last or 2 for you, Dylan.
You better not steer me wrong. If so, I'm driving to Albany or wherever the hell you are.
And wait. Vinny, don't you still have 1 pick left?
Do I?
Yeah. You can't.
You're
You're not going to. You'll be the
Man,
last
blew
one
his
to the
whole
draft.
budget. Hey, he doesn't get a player. That's fine with us. Let's keep going on. All right. You got to finance, man. You got to finance. If you take finance classes, you're without a player.
Who did I not draft?
Jesus Christ. Dylan, go. Who are your last 2 picks, Dylan? This guy doesn't know.
I don't have 2. I got 3 left.
Yeah.
That's because he skipped me and took Michael Thomas. I told you I was being skipped.
Oh my God.
I told you I was being skipped. I was going Michael Thomas with that pick that you made, you clown. How come you only made 1 pick? When you pick, you make 2. Don't you understand how it works? Snake.
Okay,
I'm
let's
so
just go back through it.
Let me take my 3 football players and we're good.
Let's go back through it. Vinny, who was your first pick? Jesus Christ.
My first pick was Aaron Jones.
Alvin Kamara.
Rashad Penny. Jonathan Taylor.
Tyreek Hill. Sorry, I said Travis Kelce, actually. Travis Kelce.
I'm pretty sure I had Mark Andrews and Lamar Jackson were my next 2 picks after that.
Then I went Tyreek Hill.
I went Devontae Smith, Mike Evans.
Then I went AJ Brown.
That's when I went Michael Pittman and Michael Thomas.
Okay. Then I didn't know who else to pick. So I did Giants defense.
I think I got skipped here. Who did you take, Vinny?
Actually, no, I went Michael Pittman and James Robinson is what my picks were at that.
And then you went. Then when I was supposed to take Michael Thomas and James,
then he's cheating ass.
Then when I was supposed to,
that's fine. Take Michael Thomas. Hey, take Michael Thomas.
Then I was supposed to go Michael Thomas and Jameis Winston. Instead, you took Michael Thomas. You went back to yours, and I had to take freaking Jarvis and Winston.
Then take Michael Thomas. Take Michael Thomas. It's fine.
I got you now.
Get Jarvis out of here and give me Mr. Michael.
There you go.
Shout out OSU, Buckeye Nation.
So are we good now?
I think we're good.
Michael Thomas. Okay, I have 3 picks left still.
Got it. Then that means I have 1 pick left.
Yeah.
No,
okay.
No,
Dylan, you have 2 picks left.
Oh yeah, I got to make my 2 because I'm on the clock. Okay, I understand.
Yes. Yeah, this is the last round.
All right, we're back to where we are. We were gone for a minute, but we're back now. Call us logic.
What a shit show.
This is horrible.
Thank you to the 3 people that are still watching.
Yeah, this is painful. I'm going to go with the Walrus because the Chargers can't stop anybody. They haven't been able to stop a tight end ever.
So you have Darren Waller?
Yeah, I got another pick here.
Yeah.
I'll go flex and worry about the defense later. Wait, how much budget? 6 flex. All right, dummy. Let's go. Ooh. You know what? It's week 1. Sammy Watkins. I can't feel the defense. My bad. Okay. Mathematically, I got to go deep. Oh boy. All right, I'll just stack a tight end. Sorry, bear with me for a second here.
Jesus Christ. You guys are the worst at this, I swear. Every time. You guys just need to learn some calculations.
Let me just feed the ducks here.
Feed the ducks.
Yeah, we definitely should be playing this one.
And again, if this player comes back to me, I'm going to swap him with someone. Just to let you guys know.
Oh my gosh. Just say who the hell you want.
Well, Dylan could take him. This is a cheap option.
Pat Fryermuth.
That wasn't the option.
Okay.
You're on the clock, Aaron.
I'm taking Jalen Tolbert.
Great.
I just dropped him.
So I am, now that I can make this swap, I am swapping J-Rob with Dameon Pierce. And then I will flex Hollywood Brown.
Who?
Yeah, there you go. My team here: Lamar Jackson, Aaron Jones, Dameon Pierce, Nico Collins, Darnell Mooney, Michael Pittman Jr., Mark Andrews, Hollywood Brown, and the Jacksonville Jaguars defense.
It's never good when you have 2 Houston Texans and 3 players out of that game. That's just disgusting.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for the best here. Hope for the best.
My team, the winning team: Jalen Hurts, Alvin Kamara, Saquon Barkley, Tyreek Hill, AJ Brown, Romeo Dubs, Travis Kelce, Jalen Tolbert, and the Giants defense.
And I just made my last pick, which means I have Jameis Winston, Rashad Penny, Jonathan Taylor, Devontae Smith, Mike Evans, Michael Thomas, Darren Waller, Pat Fryermuth, and the Bears defense.
I'm on record right now. This might be the easiest win for me of the entire season.
Actually, you didn't win this last year. You didn't win this. I won this
last year. I don't know.
I
why
won this.
Let me pick. I was like, okay.
Son of a bitch! I won this last year. I didn't even take credit for me doing something good for once.
You did win the DraftKings last year. That's why when you said I get the pick, I'm like, okay. You want to do it all over, Vinny?
I want to do it all over again. We're restarting the draft. Everything's restarting. Okay. Welcome into another episode of the Sack City Podcast.
Well, week one's going to be an easy win for me. Thank you.
Yeah, this is great. I'm saving it, locking and loading. Here we go. All right. That does it for another episode of the Pigskin Pancakes presented by the Sack City Podcast. We will be back tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Eastern time, breaking down all the week one matchups and previewing our Monday night football game between the Seahawks and the Broncos. Oh, we're not previewing that. That has already been done. It's already on YouTube. Go check it out at Sack City Pod on YouTube. For my best friend, Aaron Mukes. For old Scrow Necky himself, Dylan Kearns. I'm so excited you're back, buddy. And I get to see your face. I am me, though. We will see you tomorrow.
Good luck on your matchups. Peace out.
Bye.
We know we are a much better team.